ॐ नमोऽस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दाय तपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वलितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ध्यानमूलं गुरुर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरोः पदम् मन्त्रमूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरोः कृपा। ॐ कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय, सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय, कृष्ण भगवान की जय, गीता माता की जय। हरि ओम। We are discussing Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, and yesterday we saw the 5th sloka. बहुनी में व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्थ परन्तप। What is the birthday of Arjuna? You don't know? No? Birthday of Arjuna? You don't know? What is this यार? अभी बोला ना, बहुनी में व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तब 4 जून। What is this? Arjun's birthday is 4th June. इतना समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। What to say? भंडारा June 4th, let it come. Let it come first. Then we shall prepare for Bhandara. We shall invite his friend, Arjuna's the closest friend, Lord Krishna. Yes. So now, ajopi san अव्ययात्मा भूतानाम ईश्वरोऽपि सन् प्रकृतिं स्वाम अधिष्ठाय संभवामि आत्ममायया. This also we saw yesterday. Though I am unborn, Lord Krishna says, of imperishable nature, and though I am the Lord of all beings, yet governing my own nature, I am born by my own Maya. My body is a delusive body. Maya means delusion. Understood now? he just apparently appears. He does not really appear. And he has his nature, his habits, his characteristics, his nature, everything with full control, 100% by my control. It is my nature, so it is under my control. If the fire is burning with full force, what will be the degree of temperature? It will be too high. And if it lowers down, the temperature naturally it will go down. That means the fire has got full control over its nature, that is heat and light, isn't it? Similarly, it should be seen in human beings, but we have no control over our nature, our habits. That is the most pitiable situation. Though I am unborn and I am of imperishable nature, I never take birth. I am unborn. I have no birth or nor decay. Yet, because I have full control over my nature, controlling over my nature, just for play's sake, just for some purposeless purpose, for amusement, because I am free in every sense, so I can do whatever I like. So the children play with anything and everything at any time and every time, because their nature is to play. You cannot have control over it. They can control over it. When they grow young, of course they control it. Nature is always nature, and the sensible persons who have full control over their nature, they are superior beings, and who have no control over them, over the senses, sense objects, mind, intellect, and their nature. So naturally they are subject to Kama, Krodha, Lobha, etc. And they are prey to their desires and attachment, so they are bound to come to this cycle of world, birth and death, appearance and disappearance of the body without control over it. Helplessly they are fallen into this cycle. But Lord says, I have nothing to do. Previously he has stated his situation. I have nothing to do, I have no desires, I have nothing. But yet I set up some examples for others, so that others may follow my track. Why? Because Jajada charate seshtha tattadeva taro janaha. As per the reasonable or wise people go, others follow the same track without thinking anything. That becomes an idealism for the people who are not able to think for themselves. So in that way Lord Krishna has explained everything about his status to Arjuna and why I am ever engaged in actions, because to set up some examples before others. And now he says, I am unborn. I am the imperishable eternal truth. Yet, for my own amusement, of course he has not stated this amusement, but it is understood because his nature is under full control of him and he has no purpose. And if you do something without any purpose, what does it mean? Just for amusement. Prakritim samadhisthaya sambhavami atmamaya. By the help of my nature, I appear. My appearance is illusory because I take the help of the illusory Maya. So naturally my presence will be illusory. It appears to be, but it is not really so. Man is bound by karma, so he takes birth, he is under the clutches of nature. He is deluded by the three qualities of nature, whereas the Lord has Maya under his perfect control. He rules over nature, and so he is not under the thraldom of qualities of nature. Gunatit. He appears to be born and embodied through his own Maya or illusory power, but it is not so. In reality, it is not so. His embodiment is, as a matter of fact, apparent. It cannot affect in the least his true divine nature. There are two kinds of nature. We have also, everybody has nature of two categories. One is unseen, overpowered by the other. The other nature is without control for ordinary beings. That is called the nature of the body, senses, sense of association with the sense objects, and thereby some attachment, detachment, liking, disliking, all sorts of pairs of opposites, and he is subject to desires and actions and reactions, and that's how the lower nature is not under control. The higher nature is overpowered by the lower nature. So two kinds of nature is everywhere there. But in the case of the Absolute Lord, his nature is under full control, whether outer or inner, lower or upper, no question. So, the lower nature cannot overpower the divine nature. Everybody has divine nature, but it is overpowered by the lower nature, by the nature of senses, mind, intellect, etc. यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदा आत्मानं सृजाम्यहम्. I make myself appear, that is srijami. I create myself. That means just as some actor makes up himself to play a particular role, that is, he makes himself fit for the role to be played. Make-up. Tadatmanam srijamyaham. I make up myself, taking some false adhyas, it is called adhyas, apparently some appearance. So he says, whenever there is decline of righteousness, yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati. O Arjuna, and rise of unrighteousness, then I manifest myself. We know the three qualities when are in balanced state. There is no creation, nothing is there. It is the state of, say, the chitta, the subconscious mind, or the chitti, the absolute power, which is ready to act but it is not in action. Understood that state? I want to get up, but I have not got up. That tendency. In between the steadiness and unsteadiness, there is a momentum. That is the state of the supreme power when it tries to create. But creation has not started yet. Such a minute difference. So, in that state, he says, I want to manifest myself, but before manifestation, the cause is there is decline in righteousness. How it happens? We know the nature does all the actions. It plays its role by changing, by unsteadying, by imbalancing the balanced state of the three qualities, sattva, rajas, tamas. When it is in balanced state, nothing is started yet. When it gets imbalanced, then starting of the creation is seen. Now, when there is imbalanced state, naturally one will go up, other will go down. That is how the waves are created, the imbalanced state starts. So in that state what happens? Sometimes we see ripples on the surfacial water. Sometimes we see little bigger waves. Sometimes we see tides also. And sometimes it is said when there will be storm in the Pacific Ocean, 100 feet, more than that, waves are seen. It creates havoc. No ship can resist its force. And what happens in the Bermuda Triangle? Nothing works here, there. So in this way, when there is too much imbalanceness, of course Prakriti, the nature, goes on creating by imbalancing only. And there is a nature of nature that we should not forget. Always we discuss, why do you sit here? To get up. You cannot sit forever. Why do you eat? To stop eating sometime. Why do you walk? To stop walking. So in this way, this is the role of nature. So nature creates imbalance. What for? To create it balance, to bring it to balance. Understood the formula? So nature goes on creating imbalanced state, and again it creates balance also. When that becomes out of control, then some third force has to come. That is the power of the Supreme. When the nature fails, the nature holder comes to the risk. So that is what he says, decline in righteousness. When unrighteousness goes up, that means it rises up, it becomes uncontrollable for my nature, then I have to take care, because nature is under my control. So when that fails, naturally I have to take care. That is what happens sometimes. Dharma is, see, whenever there is decline of righteousness, Arjuna, and rise of unrighteousness, then I manifest myself to come to the risk of the nature, my nature. Because with my order only, maya dhakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam, by my order, my nature creates everything. When the nature fails, naturally I have to take care of the creation. That's why I am the protective aspect of the creation. You see, for example, I asked my subordinate, say, I asked Biju to do something. Biju, go and do this. He tries his level best. He doesn't get succeed in the job. So what will be the next step? I have to be involved in the job. Say, when the armies are failing, what happens then? The commander comes to the risk. So commander is he. By his command only, nature creates all these. So naturally when nature fails to keep up balance, he has to come. This is what we see practically everywhere. So this is what happens. He says, I come to the risk. Then I manifest myself. I appear in the battlefield. The king comes in the end. Dharma is which sustains and holds together. This dharma is a Sanskrit term which has got manifold meaning. People have understood it in different ways, and they have expressed it in different ways also. Nobody knows what is the real dharma. And because of time, space and conditions, situations, dharma also changes from person to person, from time to time, from place to place. You see, this is how it becomes very difficult to understand what is dharma. Many have opined, defined dharma in different ways. Many examples are there. Some stories, let us see. Once what happened, in the woods, our Yajnavalkya, the great saint, he was living there with 10,000 students. Every day there will be classes on Vedas, Upanishads, everything. And for some time it will go on. And once what happened, there was fight between two kings. And naturally, one will be winner, the other will be defeated. So the winning king was chasing the defeated king to kill from the root, let the enemy ruin to the end. So he was changing, and the defeated king was afraid of him. Everybody is afraid of his life. So to keep up his life, he was running away from the battlefield because he was defeated. So running away, he entered to the woods where Yajnavalkya was conducting his class in the dense forest, and he found a way. Then and there he changed his dress and became a brahmachari, took up the dress of a student brahmachari and entered into the midst of the class. Yajnavalkya, of course, was witnessing all this. He didn't object to it. Anybody is coming out of fear, he is doing the right thing. So there was no objection. And chasing him, the winning king came and rounding on the outskirts of the class. He was looking for a chance to catch hold of the enemy and kill him. Of course, Yajnavalkya was aware of it. He was just going on with the class. So, what happened when the class ends? The king comes, winning king, comes to Yajnavalkya and says, "Oh, revered sage, please hand over my enemy to me." So Yajnavalkya ji replied, "My dear, your enemy is not here. He is not here with me." The king was quite annoyed, with red eyes. "What? You are a saint. You are a renowned saint. And you speak lies. I know my enemy is with you, and you lie? I cannot believe it. Calmly Yajnavalkya says, my dear king, I speak the truth, I am not lying. So he inquired, how? They are sitting my enemy. Don't you see? Then Yajnavalkya says, he explains, my dear, you are a king. Your enemy will be a king only. Your king is gone. He is no more a king. Now he is a student. He is under my protection. King's enemy can be only a king. King cannot have any enmity with the students. There is enmity, friendship in some equal states. Can you use atom bomb to kill a mosquito? Can a king will have enmity with an ordinary student? No, I am speaking the truth. Then he says, he gives the definition of dharma. What you, dharma and you see, truth. So in different ways the dharma or truth is understood by different persons in different situations. The same person, if he would not have been a student, he would be king's enemy. But the situation has been changed. So in that way, you have to see so minutely what is dharma, what is right, what is wrong, what is your duty. Duty changes from time to time, person to person. The dharma of a child is different from the dharma of the elders. The dharma of a student differs from the dharma of the teachers. Today's dharma will be different tomorrow. Time changes, so dharma also will change. Everything changes. In that way, dharma is understood in many ways. Some say, they think dharma is nothing but rules and regulations which hold the society in balance. And those rules and regulations, they are also always subject to change. That's why sometimes some government GOs, government orders, special orders are issued, isn't it? Sometimes it is amended according to the time and situations. And amendment also gets amended according to time and situations. In this way, dharma changes its form. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, ma bruyat, satyam apriyam. Satyam priyam jan anritam bruyat. Eso dharma sanatana. It is the universal dharma. but it is very hard to understand and practice. Yes. So in this way, dharma, whatever you do, if we can take something to be dharma universally, then your actions which is not offending to the others, doesn't create any offense to the others, then that is called dharma, eternal dharma. You should be unobjectable. Your life should not have any objections, any negativities. Even your thoughts, your speech and your deed, both should coincide with each other. When you think something else, speak something else and do something else, that is the symptom of an unrighteous man, and who speaks what he thinks and he does what he speaks, then he is known to be a saintly person. Manasyekam, vachasyekam, karmanyekam mahatvanam, and the opposite is duratmanam. A rogue is considered what he thinks, he doesn't speak it, crookedness. And whatever he speaks, he never follows it, never brings it into actions. So, in Ramayana, Lord Rama says to Vibhishan, Vibhishan was a demon, and the brother of Rama's enemy, against whom Rama is ready to fight and kill him. And knowing that, even Rama accepts him as his friend, and he declares, Sumati Kumati सब कहीं उरव सही, निगमागम सब ग्रंथ अस कहाई. All the scriptures are of one opinion. They say same thing. The lower mind and the upper mind means the subtle mind or gross mind, or we can say the pure mind and impure mind. Pure mind is called Sumati and impure mind is called Kumati, who goes always downward, and Sumati, the pure mind, always drag you upward. You know the symbol of Kashi? Do you know? Kashi is called that place where Ganga changes its downward flow and flows towards north. That place is most auspicious place, most pure place, and Lord Shiva wants to abide there only. Naturally, the rivers go from the up to the down, but here Ganga changes its flows and he flows upward, northward. So it is something special. Upward flow means flows towards the source. that indicates there who abides there, he is bound to reach the goal. Where from you have started your journey of the life. You go homeward journey. That's how it is very auspicious. So, you see in Kashi, the Varanasi Kashi, and here also Uttar Kashi, in all these places Ganga flows northwards. And wherever it is seen in the rivers, you see always there will be growth in that place, and always there will be dharma and a place of center of knowledge. Kashi is known to be the center of knowledge, and Lord Shiva abides there, and he gives whosoever dies there, he is bound to be released from the cycle of birth and death. Lord himself gives the Tarak mantra. Anyway, here Lord Rama says, Sumati kumati sab kahin uravasai, nigamagam sab grantha asa kahin, jahan sumati tahan sampati nana, jahan kumati tahan vipati nidhana. Wherever there is a pure mind, there is many kinds of growth in everything is seen, and wherever there is the negative mind, kumati, always the decay is seen. And to explain it still further, he says, निर्मल मन जन सो मोहि भावा, मोहे छल छिद्र कपट नहीं भावा. I don't like crookedness. A simple mind is always liked by me. Simplicity means straightforwardness. No hiding anything. That is the symptom of good people. Whatever he thinks, he speaks it. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is crookedly placed or expressed. And whatever he speaks, he does it. He shows it in the actions. Manasyekam vachasyekam karmanyekam mahatvanam manasyanyat vachasyanyat karmanyanyat duratvanam. He is a rogue who hides something. What he thinks, he doesn't speak it. He is a crooked fellow. I don't like him. He will not come before me. Nirimala manajana so mahi bhava. That's why it is said the children are always dear to the God, dear to everyone. Children are loved by everyone because of their simplicity. Parents will teach them not to speak the truth, but somehow or other they will speak out the truth. Father says the interest collector has come outside. He is searching for the person to to collect the interest. The person will hide himself in the house. He will say, the child, go and tell, father is not in the house, he has gone somewhere outside, you come next day. So the child will go, he will say, my father says he is not at home. He is simple person. He speaks out the truth. So this is the state of a child's mind, and so the children are loved by everyone. Even the children are not disturbed by wild animals. Their simplicity is the cause for it. They have no enmity against anyone. So, ahimsa pratisthayam tasya samipe vairatyagaha. When you have no violence against anyone, nobody can play violence against you. Nothing can happen. So even ferocious animals, they fail to do some harm to the children. It is so many times seen, even the venomous serpents, they don't bite the children, never. Eyewitness incidents are there. So in this way, the simplicity is a paramount merit. And what happens, we have come here, dharma is simplicity. Whatever you think, whatever you speak, it should be acted in by your senses, or whatever you think, you speak out. You should speak out it. That is called truth. That is called dharma. And dharma has different definitions. It is very hard to give an universal definition for dharma, but according to time and situations and conditions, it is changeable, no doubt in it. So naturally, when there is decline in the nature of righteousness and unrighteousness is increased, and so when the nature cannot balance it, the nature holder comes to the risk. Dharma is that which sustains and holds together. Dhara iti dharma. There is no proper equivalent for this term in the English language. Gurudev says, there is no proper term in other language. No other language can explain what is really dharma means. That which helps a man to attain to moksha or salvation is called dharma. Simple. One which helps you to reach your goal, that is your dharma. And we have seen swadharme nidhanam shreyah paradharma bhayavaha. If something obstructs you in your path to the goal, that is called adharma. If it helps you, maybe it is your action or others' action in the path helps you, it is dharma, and it obstructs you, that is adharma. That which makes a man irreligious or unrighteous is called adharma. That which elevates a man and helps unrighteous is called adharma. That which elevates a man and helps him reach the goal of life and attain knowledge is called dharma. This can be taken as universal definition. That which drags him and hauls him down in the abyss of worldliness and ignorance is called adharma. So naturally when dharma you want to understand the opposite, you should understand also what is called light.
Absence of darkness.
Yes, that will be the right definition. So in this way, jada jada hi dharmasya glanirvhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatvanam srijamyaham. So why there is decline in righteousness? Why there is rise in unrighteousness? We have understood little, isn't it? Why Prakriti, the nature, fails to keep a balance? Because it's nature's nature. That is its work. So where there is success, there is a failure. And what did our Newton or who said this? I have not failed 1,000 times, but I have successfully found out 1,000 ways which are not useful for me.
Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison said that.
Edison, yes. He sees failures as success. So there is failure in success, there is success in failure also. This is called law of relativity. So tomorrow we shall see paritrana. If you appear to do something, what is you do? What is that you do? So tomorrow we shall see why he appears. What does he do? Of course, indirectly he has said, abhyuthanam adharma abhyuthana adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyam. So naturally I have to stop it and rise up the dharma. That will be the purpose, that will be clarified tomorrow. And to keep a balance, when there is imbalance, I come to the risk. Nature cannot keep up the balance. So when there is decline of rules and regulations, naturally judges are there and police and military, they are there. They will do it forcibly by the help of law and order. So we shall see what is the purpose of Lord Krishna. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om शांति शांति शांति। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय, सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय, कृष्ण भगवान की जय, गीता माता की जय। हरे